Ryan Reynolds just has figured it out. He has figured out how to be a celebrity. Make sure you come back and join us on Wednesday right here at our YouTube channel, Wednesday at noon, April 19th. We are doing a live Ask Us Anything. Usually when we do our Ask Us Anything segments, we ask you to send us questions ahead of time. This time, we're going to have no idea. Anything can happen. You can ask us anything, literally.
Yes. We still could choose not to answer some things, but you can ask.
Right.
You can always ask.
We will have answers. So come and join us here live at noon, April 19th. We'll have a link to that down below so you can bookmark it and just hang out. We already have people waiting for us there. They're already waiting.
Wow.
Wow.
Hope they brought a lunch.
Yes. We got to start with the Cannes lineup. We know more things are announced, including Wes Anderson's Asteroid City, the new Jonathan Glazer, short from Pedro Almodovar starring Ethan Hawke and Pedro Pascal in a gay Western romance.
Pedro meets Pedro. I can't wait.
I'm excited.
New Todd Haynes.
Yes.
So yeah, it's always a big deal. And have you ever been?
No.
Me
I've never been
neither.
to France.
I've been to France, but I've never been to Cannes. Maybe one of these years someone's going to send us, maybe we'll have like $1 million Patreon level and you get our exclusive coverage from the Cannes Film Festival.
From the Croisette. You and me at the Croisette.
There you go.
So that is coming up next month. Yeah. And of course it's opening with the May Wen movie that marks Johnny Depp's big return to film since his Amber Heard trial. So that's already very exciting. So we'll keep an eye on all of those things. And,
the new Scorsese and the new Indiana Jones are both out of competition.
Yeah. And I think the Indiana Jones movie is sort of doing what Top Gun Maverick did last summer at Cannes, as far as that's the bookmark placeholder that it exists in.
Yeah, we've had I think one of the Shrek movies had that slot. There's always some big American, poised to be a global blockbuster thing that premieres at Cannes.
Yes, for sure. HBO Max is no longer HBO Max. They're just Max now, which is like the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
I mean,
the name HBO is synonymous with a certain level of quality programming, right? You think HBO, you hear that bzz, bzz logo in your head. You think of Sex and the City. You think of The Sopranos. You think of whatever you've watched for decades.
6 Feet Under. Yeah.
This is stupid. Why would you do that?
My only thought of that this makes any sense is that HBO was like, you know what? Maybe don't slap our name that we've spent decades building, this, sign of quality onto your Chip and Joanna Gaines shows or whatever it is that they do at Discovery. That's the only way this makes sense. Because obviously HBO is the selling point of this. And so if they take HBO off, all I can think is that somebody at HBO was like, hey, what if we saved HBO for good documentaries and, classy miniseries that people watch, and then y'all go do your nonsense over here and just take my name out your mouth. I don't know.
Warner Brothers Discovery, right? In the infinite permutations of this giant conglomerate merger here, you now have simply Max.
And Max is short for Cinemax. Let's never forget.
That is a really good point. Is that why? Were HBO and Cinemax, they were together at one point, yes?
Well, HBO has always owned Cinemax.
Oh, I see.
And so HBO Max was literally supposed to, but that was Max.
I see.
For short, yeah.
Yes, After Dark. Warner Brothers Discovery After Dark, when the shiplap gets really spicy. One of the things you're going to see on Max eventually in our lifetimes is a Harry Potter TV series.
I'm not going to see it, but someone will. I don't know.
I mean, is this because of how you feel about J.K. Rowling or just because you're sick of Harry Potter?
No, well, I mean, a little of both, but mainly, I'm never giving that woman another dime if I can help it. So I'm out, and I know I think she has tarnished her own brand among a giant portion of her audience. So good luck, everybody involved with this thing, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I agree. That will not be a thing that we are recapping on our Patreon.
No.
Yeah. Also coming up soon is CinemaCon later on this month, the end of the month, which is famously where Olivia Wilde was served child custody papers.
That's what it's famous
This is
for.
now what it's known for outside of our little industry bubble, right? Like within this world, it's just like, you know, the distributors go there and the studios show off their stuff that's coming up, and it's like a very small.
Yeah, it used to be called Show West, and it was just a thing that were like, if you owned a movie theater in Kansas City, it was your excuse to go to Vegas and find out about the new popcorn innovations. But now, of course, like everything else, it's a con, and it gets covered by the press, and they launch things there. And
and so a year ago, Olivia Wilde was launching Don't Worry, Darling, and right on stage, she got served with papers by Jason Sudeikis, with whom she has two kids. So
not
now,
him personally, his process server.
Right. He didn't walk up in like his little Ted Lasso cap or anything.
No.
But somebody on his behalf. Now they have stepped up security with like multiple guards all over the place around the stage, because the question was like, how'd this person get in? Like they needed to have a wristband or a badge that showed that they had taken the appropriate COVID test and all that. So now
it's like the Oscars. It's like after the fact, we're really stepping up security. But like, well, great. Where was all this last year?
Right. Where was your ninja squad at CinemaCon last year? You'll be happy to know that Drake Bell is alive and well and has been found. There was a weird situation with him this past week where Daytona Beach police put out like be on the lookout for Drake
missing
Bell.
And endangered.
Near a high school. All of this is problematic. He has had many legal troubles over the past several years, some of which involve underage girls and inappropriate sexual content. Like it's all gross. And so he was missing, and I guess he turned up after several hours and tweeted about it in a really blasé kind of way. Like, you leave your phone in your car for a few hours and this is what happens. Everybody freaks out.
He's okay. That's all we need to know, I guess.
He is okay. Jamie Foxx, though, is still in the hospital. This is a really weird and sad situation. So his family is understandably being private about this and a little big about this. His daughter, Corinne, posted on Instagram that he is undergoing a medical condition. He is recovering from that medical condition. But he was shooting a film in Atlanta at the time with Cameron Diaz and had to go to the hospital and remains in the hospital from what we understand.
Okay. Yikes.
And now they're having to reconfigure shooting.
Well, sure. I'm guessing it's not Annie 2.
I don't think it's Annie 2. No.
Okay.
It's a movie with a name, and it's not Annie 2. But apparently them working together on Annie, and what a good relationship that was, is how he convinced Cameron Diaz to come out of retirement and make a movie again.
I was going to say she hasn't worked in a while. Well, I hope he's okay, whatever the medical condition is that no one's talking about.
For sure. And of course, like, anti-vaxxers are using the opportunity to say like, well, you know, he was vaccinated and like all of a sudden had a medical condition, and suggestions as to what that might be abound. And it's like, it horrifies me every time that people will pounce on.
So no one can ever get sick again without it being the vaxxer's fault. And then if somebody gets sick and they didn't get vaccinated, then that's just the will of the Lord, I suppose.
Or people use the word died suddenly, you know, as code for. Anyway, it's all horrifying, and we hope Jamie Foxx is feeling better much soon and getting back to work and all that good stuff. And then, have you seen this crazy thing that Ryan Reynolds did?
It's McElhenney.
McElhenney.
If there was doubt, now there won't be any. It's McElhenney.
No, I have not. Tell me.
Ryan Reynolds had Pesek and Paul write a song for Rob McElhenney for his birthday, right? They are good friends. They co-own this soccer team, this Wrexham soccer team. There's a whole TV series about it.
Pesek Paul did the songs for Spirited, which you were just in.
Right. And so it's a very funny, catchy little birthday song for Rob McElhenney about the fact that people mispronounce his name a lot. And it's bouncy and catchy, and Ryan Reynolds just has figured it out. He has figured out how to be a celebrity.
That's a good gift. It's a good bit. It's all the things. Yeah.
Right. He makes you feel like you know him, but remains private. There's no scandal. You know, he is great looking without being like intimidatingly so. And like he'll make fun of himself when something stupid happens or he has a bad movie, and he does stuff like this that's just totally charming. So it's a very catchy little song that will now be stuck in everyone's head.